here with my fellow reporter, Sarah. This is just in that the NASA Space Shuttle Challenger has burst into flames only a few seconds after liftoff from Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, Florida. On screen, there are some photos before and after the fatal incident. Seven lives were lost in this horrible tragedy. Miss McAuliffe, a 37-year-old high school history instructor who was supposed to teach a few lessons in space, was amongst those whose lives were claimed by the explosion. Many described the cold night before and how that could have been a factor in the space shuttle's malfunction. Now we will go over to a key eyewitness of the Challenger disaster, Natalia. Could you please describe your reaction to the explosion?
Yes. First of all, when they launched the space shuttle, it seemed as if everything was running perfectly. So when it exploded, I just felt my heart drop out of astonishment.
So did you know anybody on the mission?
I did. I was a coworker friend of Sharon Kirsten McCall, who was asked to board the shuttle and place the big bird. She shared how excited she was to represent teachers from all over the United States and bring back experiences that would encourage students' interest in astronomy.
Wow. We are all sorry for your loss and appreciate you for speaking with us on Miss McAuliffe, who was the first American civilian selected to go to space.
So what do you think was going on up there when the space shuttle began to malfunction?
Well, I had no idea that things weren't running smoothly. I just thought how amazing it was to experience this launch and drop.
Did you have any hope that the spacecraft could potentially land safely without any injuries to the occupants?
Given the force of the explosion, we just knew that there was no way of any survivors.
When did you truly realize that it would not be possible for the Challenger to safely return?
After the explosion, there was shock from news reporters, NASA workers, and all over the world. So at that point, I just knew that this was something that could not be done.
So does this event change your perspective on travel to space?
This event has changed my perspective on travel to space because just after witnessing what had happened in person and losing a dear friend because of this tragedy of the explosion, I believe that the best way for this to stop is NASA should stop sending people up into space, and instead, they should send NASA robots, man-made, to continue.
Thank you, Natalia, for allowing us to interview you and receive firsthand knowledge on the Challenger disaster.
And currently, NASA has temporarily suspended all shuttle missions, and President Ronald Reagan has spoken out on the matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd planned to speak to you tonight to report on the State of the Union. But the events of earlier today have led me to change those plans. Today is a day for mourning and remembering. Nancy and I are pained to the core by the tragedy of the Shuttle Challenger. We know we share this pain with all of the people of our country. This is truly a national loss. 19 years ago, almost to the day, we lost 3 astronauts in a terrible accident on the ground. But we've never lost an astronaut in flight. We've never had a tragedy like this. And perhaps we've forgotten the courage it took for the crew of the shuttle. But they, the Challenger 7, were aware of the dangers, but overcame them and did their jobs brilliantly. We mourn 7 heroes: Michael Smith, Dick Scobie, Judith Resnick, Ronald McNair, Ellison Onizuka, Gregory Jarvis, and Krista McAuliffe. We mourn their loss as a nation together. To the families of the 7, we cannot bear, as you do, the full impact of this tragedy. But we feel the loss, and we're thinking about you so very much.
We give all our condolences to the friends and families grieving their loved ones. January 28, 1986 will be remembered as a sad day all over America and really put into question space technologies and advancements.